Yes, abundance. When you have so many options, scarcity and desperation melt away. It's a wonderful feeling. When it comes to the dating market, women appear to have massive amounts of abundance, and the guys got not much, except for Chad, of course. Wage gap? How about coochie gap? Abundance gap. It's like a girl can roll out of bed in sweatpants and get approached by 5 guys, but the dudes out here, we're scrounging for secondhand feet pics. What's a young guy to do to finally get some sweet, sweet abundance? When I first started focusing on dating, getting good at attracting women, going out on dates, and getting laid, I started to notice that a girl's experience was far different from mine. Maybe a girl was complaining to me or laughing about how terrible the other profiles of other guys were, and then she would send me a screen capture from her phone of some guy that was exceptionally bad. And I would look at it and I would laugh and I'd be like, oh, that's really weird. Like, why would he post a picture like that? Or why did he think that saying that would be interesting or cool? But then I would also look up at the corner of the screen capture and I would see that she had 99 plus messages, or another girl would have like 99 matches plus. And I was like, damn, I wish I had it like that. One girl I remember in particular, she was really cute, but maybe slightly autistic, and she was really into business. And she would mention things like, I don't understand how Tinder's business model is working because it's a free app and they have Tinder Gold and they have Tinder Platinum, but why would anybody pay for that? You're already getting matches, so what incentive does anybody have to buy? And by then I was a little bit more experienced, had a twinkle in my eye and asked her, so when you swipe right on a guy that you find attractive, it pretty much is an instant match, right? Oh yeah, well, that's not how it is for guys. Guys have to actually try. And I said, this is me, and this is how many I have. And she was like blown away. She didn't really get the discrepancy. She had no idea. When it comes to the dating market, sexual marketplace value, women are born with abundance, or rather, their abundance just comes naturally to them. They really don't have to work for being desired by men. Now, sure, there's makeup and dressing cute and all that stuff, but ultimately, they just have to exist and not be terribly ugly, and guys are gonna want to talk to them. They have abundance. That's natural. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's pretty much the way it's always been. Men are naturally inclined to give girls tons of compliments. They're gonna try to help them with their homework or help them with their bags. Or if it's online, they're gonna pay for their OnlyFans, or they're gonna leave a like, they're gonna comment, they're going to subscribe. All of these things are done by men. It's just nature. This is how the sexual marketplace works. And it's just part of human psychology to realize that if someone, man or woman, has tons and tons of options, has a ton of abundance, that person is going to be very selective for who they choose to mate and date. This is what movie stars go through. This is what dudes like Brad Pitt and all that deal with because they have such a high level of abundance. Well, your average woman typically has a massive amount of abundance. Unless, of course, they're super ugly, then no one's interested in them. But the average girl, she's decent. Most guys are gonna be hounding her to date her. Now, there are some guys out there that will whine and complain. It's so unfair. Girls don't have to try and we have to work. Why should I have to do all this? The juice isn't worth the squeeze, blah, blah, blah. And we know that these guys are losers. Here on this channel, we don't do that. We don't bitch and moan about things that we can't change. We don't complain about reality. We accept it and use it. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. This is Stoic Philosophy 101, applied directly to the sexual marketplace. We're not here being black-pilled, being angry, being upset, bitching and moaning, red pill raging. You and I understand reality, and we're gonna get to work on it. The truth is, men have to earn their abundance. We have to work for it. That's just how it is. Like I was saying earlier, when I first started learning how to date, learning how to be attractive, I had to put in a ton of work. I started going to the gym, started building my body, started grooming, started buying different kinds of clothes, mixing and matching and figuring stuff out. I paid for professional photos. I had to pay for different dating apps. I was texting a ton, paying for dating courses to learn how to text, experimenting with things, getting flaked on, getting rejected, getting really close to closing the deal and then nothing, learning how to just be personable when I'm on a date and actually be flirtatious and be relaxed and be confident even when I didn't feel like it, and just on and on and on. It was a ton of work, and girls didn't have to do any of that. They just had to be cute, take a shower. But that's all right. I accept that and I move on with my life. After doing all this work, I did get results. It's not going to be handed to you. It's not about what's fair or it should be this way or it should be that way. It's irrelevant, right? Sure, there are handsome guys that are just born and they're naturally attractive. But if that naturally attractive guy is an introvert and stands in a corner or never talks to anybody or is incredibly socially awkward, he's still gonna have a rough time. Even the football Chad, right? The jocks, they still have to perform. They may be physically gifted, but they still need to try out for the team. They still need to sweat and do all this shit, and they may enjoy it, but they're still performing. They're being seen. They're joining an elite group, which is the football team, right? And so that attraction builds even more, not just because they're a physical specimen. They are actively creating value in the eyes of the community, and therefore the women are attracted to that. And this is work. This is performance. A man's abundance requires him to perform in one way or another. But here's the cool thing. You do not need to be Brad Pitt. You do not need to be a rock star or a movie star or be the captain of the football team. You don't have to play professional sports in order to have abundance with women. You just need to be better than the average guy. They're slobs, they don't dress well, especially in America. They're fat as fuck. They're kind of awkward. Most dudes are on their phones, at home, alone. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to just be pleasant. The bar is so low that the work you need to put in to be better than the average dude really isn't that bad. And like I was saying earlier, all the dudes that are angry or resentful, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do that? Women should be the ones to do this and do that. And they're stuck. They're stuck in their little brains, whining and complaining and being resentful. But since you and I are not like that, we are able to ascend and go beyond them much easier. We accept the reality that men have to earn their abundance. And imagine how good it will feel that you finally put in the work, put in the time, and you come out the other end of that period in your life with all the abundance that you could possibly want. Where now dating is easy for you. Where now you can have the relationships that you want, the experiences that you want, and it's no longer a big deal. It's just you. It's just your life because you took the time to build your dating life. When we accept the truth and do everything that we can, life gets so much better.